I was actually raised by my tutu and my auntie Lovey. My mom she was more like my sister. I get my kolohenes from my mom. You know, my mom was really rascal, but she was an incredible entertainer. My family are all entertainers. My mom is Charlotte Pualani Apana, and then she married my stepdad, Donald Miike. So Charlotte Pualani Apana Miike, SPAM, spam. So she tells everybody my initials is spam, but I don't get no royalties from spam. But my mom was a farmer at day. So my mom and my dad ran the Honolulu kalo farms. My mom and my dad owned 21 acres in Honolulu, Kauai. And at night she was an entertainer. So by day she was in the mud pulling kalo, and then at night she was an entertainer at all the luau shows that my family would do. Very diva. You know, back in the day, we never have one smartphone, right? I think our recording is probably on a beta tape of my mom somewhere. I post pictures of my childhood, especially when it's during times like Mother's Day or Mary Monarch, because my family was one of the original halaus to compete at Mary Monarch. So I will post pictures when I'm like 5 years old, running around at Edith Kanakole Stadium at Mary Monarch in Hilo, and my mom is holding on to me because I was just like a firecracker, running all over Edith Kanakole Stadium. I would post pictures of my mom, you know. She was my biggest supporter, and I'm the only child. So whatever I did, even though my grandma raised me, my mom tried her best to be a mother figure. So like I was a song director at Kamehameha schools, right? My mom would come to all of my song contests and stuff. So I get my kalohenes from my mom. I went to Kamehameha, right? And so after Kamehameha, I lived here. And then I got into radio, remember? And then when my mom got sick and she amputated her legs, I told myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to be remiss if I didn't take care of my mom. So she amputated 2 legs. I went home to Kauai, take care of my mom. I did my first Mother's Day show. You know, life is good. Kauai is good. I took over my mom's contract, entertaining in all the events. Duke's Canoe Club was one of her places where she sang 7 days a week. But my life is radio. Yeah. And so I wanted to come back to radio. That's why I came back to the city. So after my mom passed away, I came back to Honolulu and I decided to continue Mother's Day because there was something about doing that Mother's Day show that was magical. It's not a show. It's an experience. I had all the mega superstars of music and in Hawaii and hula champions of Mary Monarch. But I also gave back. So there was just something about that formula, about having the best of the best in music, hula, entertainment, prizes, giving back, that was magical. It's very, very, very spiritual. And that's why I decided that when I come back to the city, I'm going to do it again. But again, the secret is always giving back. You know, the thing is, I am friends with all the artists. Yes. And I think everybody in Hawaii that's on Ohoku Hanahana Word Star has performed at my Mother's Day show. Everybody performed, right? It's like the biggest Mother's Day show in Hawaii. How do I piece it together? I just kind of go with my na'au. I always say your na'au is your biggest compass, right? So even like when I choose somebody to honor, like this year we're honoring hula master Auntie May Kamamalu Klein. I've been thinking about her for like the last 5 years. I'm like, one day I'm going to honor her because I see her. She's been an incredible champion of our hula community, right? I thought of her for 5 years, and then you piece it together, right? So like the halaus that's coming to perform are students, Hiva Vaughn and Kamako Kukona, that she unikied as kumuhula. So it all matches. When you get a hula master, you get the halaus and the entertainment, the music stars, right? Like Natalie A'i Kama'u, Shauna Awal. They all played for the halaus that are performing. Kind of like just fits like a glove. From day one, it just kind of like it came out of my mouth. It flows, and then I have like the papa makeke. How do you describe the show? It's a spectacular, right? You experience it yourself, right, sis? It is huge. It's a spectacular, but I use the word legacy because I honor my family. The legacy, the Apana legacy. So when you come to my Mother's Day show, you see a big portrait of my mom, and then you see a portrait of my Auntie Lovey Apana, who raised me. She was one of Kauai's most revered and most famous kumuhula and entertainers. And then next to her is another kumuhula and another Hanai mom to me that passed away, Auntie Lena Ala Kalamahaini. So I use the word legacy because this is my kuleana. A legacy as an apana, right? A legacy to perpetuate my hula, my culture, my people, the legacy of my family of always giving back. So that's why you have the Mother's Day Spectacular entitled Legacy. I don't think we used pop up before. I think it was just called the Mothers in Makeke.
Okay.
Yeah, because I always feel like when you're at an event on that magnitude, you get best of food, best of entertainment, best of prizes, right? And you got to have shopping. So it's like your palette is just filled, right? You go shopping and you buy your mother's goodies and you get lays and you get music. And that's why I always say the Mother's Day show is not a show, it's an experience. Actually, all the people in the Papa Makeke are all friends and family of mine. Like the lay booth is Halauna Pule Oli Kulehua. That's my ohana. Their mom is Auntie Lena Ala Kalamahani, I honored her a couple years ago, the year she passed away, And so I always invite my friends and family first, and they've been with me from day one. And that's why I kind of feel bad because there's a waiting list of other vendors that want to get on. And I wish I could fit more people, but I tell people, unless the people that come every year that's been at Mother's Day from day one, unless the giving birth or something happens, I always promise them their spot. And a lot of them come every year because they get to see other moms, they get to celebrate the moms, and it's the spirit of Mother's Day. It's magical. I always say things happen for a reason. Show was already sold out. Talk about traumatized. My Mother's Day show was sold out. Then they called me and then they said, sorry, we have to give back your deposit because there's a convention coming in from Japan and they need Mother's Day. Panicked. I remember calling the convention center. The convention center was having their own event. And then I called Hilton. I was desperate. I'm like, oh my God, I need to move my venue like ASAP. And the Hilton was available. And that's how I ended up at the Hilton. And I think it was a blessing in disguise because the Hilton Hawaiian Village they're on another level, a bigger venue. So they fit 500 more people. The foyer part, when you walk into the core ballroom, the setup is just like perfect. It's good feng shui. And I've been with them for a long time. And so they know as long as we're here, Mele's here like forever and ever. Mele's going to be a part of Hilton Hawaiian Village. I'm so blessed. There's families that come every single year. When you come to the show, especially the VIP seats, a swag bag and so much goodies, right? But what I noticed from other families that come every year, they bring goodies and omiyage for their families. And then they know that the table next to them they come every year, so they become friends. They bring omiyage, they bring leis for another family that's going to be sitting next to them. Yeah, like how you said, right? It's one big love fest. Yeah. Facebook and Instagram, and Mele Apana, real easy. As soon as Mother's Day is I'm already thinking about next year. In fact, my next year's show is already planned in my head. Yeah. My team is actually my family. It's just my family, and everybody kind of like knows their role. It's so smooth. It's like a well-oiled engine, right? And people like trip out because the production is so huge. Knock on wood, it's a flawless execution. I always believe if there's too much hands in a stew pot, the stew meat gets spoiled, right? So it's only a handful of my family members, and we prepare from the night before. And part of the preparation is my sister, Tiare, she cooks all weekend because that is what my mom did. When I was a child, when we went to Mary Monarch or Keiki Hula from the 1970s, my mom was always cooking 7 days a week. She would cook around the clock, 7 days a week. So even like now, whether it's Mother's Day or we're getting ready for Mary Monarch, I'm always the one to feed everybody. So my Mother's Day weekend, my sister will cook 3 hot meals a day while we prepare for Mother's Day show. And she'll come down with a cart. If we're decorating the stage or the table, she'll come down with a cart with a Chinese bell. Ding, ding. I think part of that, like when you feed, food is like soul food, right? So we just laugh, we sing, we eat, we laugh again, prepare everything. And I think that's why everybody comes to make it a staycation during the weekend at the Hilton Hawaiian Village, because people heard about Mele's family making it like a big weekend slumber party, and it really is. So it's just me and my family. Yeah, simple, sis. Less is more. Pray and zone. I like to zone. So I would say a week or two before Mother's Day, there's no social media, no radio, no distraction, no television. I just pray, and you just got to be in your zone and align. I always believe when you just pray, you tap into Keakua, you tap into our kupuna, our amakua, and you just go into like this zen. Everything is aligned. So in anything I do in life, I got to make sure that I got to be aligned and grounded. That's a good word. I just stay grounded. So like the morning of, like you asked me what happens the morning of, It's quiet. Yeah. It's quiet. Yeah. One of the best compliments I've ever heard when it comes to my Mother's Day show, and this happened multiple times, was the best Mother's Day show was always Loyal Garner's Mother's Day show. And when people say your show is just as good as Loyal Garner's show, that for me is the highest compliment I ever got. And I got that multiple times, to be compared to the legendary Loyal Garner's Mother's Day signature show. That's it. It's like, okay, mic drop. I got it. That's the one.
Why put on a Mother's Day show? Loyal Garner.
Yeah, yes. It was, I remember that being in elementary, my family would fly from Kauai to go to Lawyer Garner's show. And Lawyer Garner was one of my Auntie Lovey's best friends. So when she would come to Kauai, she would stay at my grandma's house. We lived on 310 Apana Road, right behind Cocoa Palms, and she would come to Kauai and do our family events. Melvin Lead would come, the Makaha Sons, Olomana, Karen Ki'awe Hawaii. Everybody stayed at our family's house, our Apana family house on Kauai. But I remember being in like third grade, coming to Oahu to come and experience Lawyer Garner's Mother's Day show, And so I remember as a child, how spectacular it was. It was just something magical when she touched the stage. She was an incredible entertainer. And so when I hear that compliment, like, oh my God, your show is just like Lawyer Garner's, like I become speechless, like, wow, that's huge. Yeah. Yeah, and funny you should ask that, because this is my 16th annual, and in the past there's families that came at the beginning, right? 2006, 2007, 2008. And some of their parents passed away, their moms passed away. And what they do now, I trip out. They would actually bring a picture of their mom and put their mom's picture on the table. So they would see me, they're like, my mom came to your show so many times and she passed away like 5 months ago, but everything was Mele's Mother's Day show. So we brought my mom's picture to honor my mom, because even though our moms are not here physically, they're always with us spiritually. Yeah. In this time that we're living in, right? I was just talking about it on air. The world is in such turmoil, right? There's so much, everybody's stressed out. There's so much division. There's so much negativity. When you watch the news, when you watch social media, it's so disheartening, right? And everybody's scared and sad of what's happening around the world, and people are hungry and desperate for something positive. So whether they're tuning in to a morning show like you folks to spread positivity, or coming to my Mother's Day show, people are looking for that outlet to lift up their spirit. Because right now in this chaotic world that we're living in, people are working extra hard, tuning into their own mana and their own selves so that they can feel better. Yeah. And that's why Mother's Day is here, to celebrate moms, to just erase all the craziness of the world and just come and be a part of Mother's Day for a couple of hours and just laugh and cry and laugh and eat and scream and press repeat just for a couple of hours. It's natural medicine. It's spiritual medicine that's needed. So it's perfect day. We all need positivity. Love on all your moms. And so please come and celebrate your mama. Show her some loving on May 11th, Sunday at the Hilton Hawaiian Village with me, alongside all the music and hula superstars. You can call me for those tickets, 808-292-5522. We'll see you there.